Time for Pets on Fox, and March is generally recognized as Poison Prevention Month for people, but the community also looks at pets during this time. And Seamus Nelson is here with the San Antonio Humane Society with cute little Faye. We were talking about looking at this face. Faye needs a forever home. We're going to talk about that in just a few minutes, but I think it's very important to talk about when people get pets. There are some hazards that you probably have in your home that you didn't even know could hurt your pet.
There are, and if you do a little research online and you look at the things that are potentially hazardous to your pet, you can do a lot of parallels to baby-proofing your house.
Okay.
You can puppy or even dog-proof, because even grown dogs, one great example is antifreeze. People think, you can put it away and that's fine, but if you do work on your car and you spill a little bit of antifreeze, a little bit goes a long way when it comes to hurting your pet.
And I've heard that it tastes very sweet to dogs, and that's the problem, that they'll lick it up and they actually can die from it. And that's the problem with antifreeze, is they actually don't run away from it. They like the taste of it.
It tastes good, it smells good.
You're right.
So even when you have a grown dog, it's not like they grow out of their antifreeze phase.
They still would take it.
Yeah, it's still appealing to them.
Well,
so
that's a good point.
Put it away somewhere up high probably, but also if you spill some, you need to clean it up, because we're talking teaspoons and tablespoons worth of antifreeze can do some damage.
All right, let's talk about what people are probably drinking this morning. Coffee can be something that's hazardous.
Yeah, coffee in any form, coffee grounds or the actual beverage, can be hazardous to your pets. And another thing that was actually I learned, it was surprising, is onions can actually cause liver damage to your dogs. So, and that's not just in the raw form, but onion powder. So you have to be really careful with that and just be considerate of where you're putting those things.
Chocolate, another one that we've heard for a long time too, right?
That's pretty well known. It's pretty toxic to your pets, so you want to be careful. And another thing that some people seem to make the mistake of is they'll switch out their dog and cat medications. So read the prescription. They'll put, well, I can't speak for all vets, but most of them will put your pet's name on the bottle, just like you find your name on your own, pills that you're issued.
That's what our vet does, right?
Yeah, so make sure you're giving the right meds to the right pet, because size, breed, type, dog to cat, that stuff does not translate medically.
Okay, now let's talk about the things in your home, household products. This was very interesting to me. You said fabric softener sheets, mothballs, batteries.
Yep, and you think about batteries, and the common knowledge is they have battery acid. So you want to be very careful, and dogs are pretty persistent, and what do they do with stuff? They chew on it.
Sure they do.
So you have a lot of potential to ingest that very harmful acid.
All right, and right now the weather's good, so people are spending time outdoors with their pets. You say Slug, snail bait, Citronella candles, and we talked about antifreeze, but you also said oil and gasoline are dangerous, right?
All that stuff, you really have to be very careful, because you think about some of it that you could handle as a person, and even your kids could be around and you'd be all right, but the stuff, you don't want kids popping slug bait in their mouth. You don't want your dogs to chew on it, and they're just as likely to sniff it and taste it.
Do you have a list of this on your website for people?
We will have a list on it. So definitely, we are always keeping our website up to date with new information. So you should always check there. We're trying to be your #1 resource in San Antonio.
And give that out to everybody.
sahumane.org.
Okay, sahumane.org. And we got about 30 seconds left, so let's talk about Faye. She's up for adoption today, right?
Right, and something interesting I'm going to throw in, we were talking about the weather and how with their fur they can hang with this cold weather, but a good rule of thumb is if you're cold, your pet's cold too.
Okay.
So in this weather, I took Faye outside to go to the bathroom, and she was not enjoying it.
No, and she doesn't have all her fur yet either.
So you want to minimize that time, but she is available for adoption, $99, 4804 Fredericksburg, just outside Loop 410.
And he was telling me she'll be about 30 to 40 pounds, and she's 2 months old, so if you want Faye, go check her out at the San Antonio Humane Society. Seamus and the gang will be over there to help you. Thanks for all that great information, and people can go to your website if they didn't get the complete list. All right, we'll be back after a break. Check out Faye. Faye wants to go home with somebody today. Oh, she's got baby teeth. We'll be right back.